Women must wear the hijab. True or false? According to the teachings of the Sharia, it is true, because the proper attire for Muslim women, according to Sharia law, is hijab. We'll explain what that means. However, if a woman chooses not to wear the hijab, Muslims believe that it's not up to her and she will be accountable to God for this choice. Now, what does that mean? Is that it is not up to us to judge an individual person for whatever choice he or she makes, because we do not know his or her inner situation in the current moment of that choice. There are rules, and the rules are clear. How one is going to act upon these rules, accept or reject them, is up to God to judge, not up to us. What the hijab means, according to the classical, traditional understanding and explanation, is that the woman is supposed to cover her entire body except the face. So the face is not to be covered. Especially if you look, if next time you have a chance, for example, to look the pilgrimage season, the Hajj season, you will see, or if you don't pay attention, the rule is that even those women that choose to cover their faces must uncover them during the pilgrimage season when they are performing pilgrimage. So had it been, if they had to wear it, they would not have to take it off, in other words, during the Hajj season. Okay, so the hijab again is covering the entire body except for the face, hands, and feet. In other words, wearing modestly, not wearing short, not wearing tight, and not wearing see-through, to protect the integrity of the woman, not to be viewed by men as a sexual object. So the idea and the point of the hijab is only and solely to protect the woman. And this is what every woman that wears hijab will feel and will explain it. So that's, in a very short way, the explanation of what the hijab means and what the hijab is about. Now, the part that says if she chooses not to wear the hijab, well, does anyone have a right to say that she is not a good Muslim? Certainly not, because, again, it is not up to us to judge, it is up to God to judge. And I'll give you another example. We just went through the belief in the destiny and the belief in the last day. On this day, God is the one who is going to judge us, all of us. So, it is not up to us to judge. And this judgment, as we understand it, is something like the cumulative grade at the university, if you wish. You may not do all your homework, but if you are well in your tests, in your finals, you may as well get a passing grade. It doesn't have to be an A. You know, sometimes D is good enough. And it's up to God to grade us. So this is really something I feel very strongly important to explain. If, for example, in Christianity, I'm not an expert by any means, but if you don't practice all of your religion, does it make you a bad Christian? I don't think it does. So same in Islam. This is what Islam teaches. And one beautiful thing about Islam is the rules of Islam. In the first place, the text of the Quran is a sacred text, is a sacred revelation from God. Not a single word, not a single letter has changed from the day of the revelation until the day of judgment, is what we believe. So the rules are there for everyone to take from them as much as they want, as much as they think they are going to be safe on the day of judgment, but they are not to be changed for anyone's sake, because it is God's right to choose whatever is best, to show us whatever is best for us, and we cannot change those rules. And one of the things about the Quran is it mentions in many places that the previous revelations have been distorted by men, changed. Things were taken out, things were added by humans. And this is why God revealed the Quran, and that is the final revelation to the final prophet, and God himself will take care of the preservation of the Quran. This is one of the verses in the Quran. So the Quran has never been omitted for not a single letter. Everything has been preserved by several techniques, methods. First and foremost, the memorization. And nowadays you have millions of Muslims who memorize the Quran, and millions of them, majority of them, just according to the percentage of Arabs who do understand the Quran to the percentage of non-Arab Muslims who don't understand the word of the Quran except Allah or Muhammad or things like that, they still memorize the Quran. Of course, the writing of the Quran from the day it was revealed and everything. So the rules are there. As far as the hijab is concerned, it's there, and everything else. So it's to us, we choose what we think is best for us, and God gave us that choice. And that is the beauty of God's mercy. God forgives for the sins, God rewards for the deeds. It is a very basic logic that applies to every child when a parent deals with him or her. Sharia law, Muslims must only abide by Sharia law and ignore their country's laws. False. Sharia law teaches Muslims, I think this is crucial to understand in terms of Sharia. And I'll give you one example. Sharia law teaches Muslims to be loyal to the country of their residence and to respect and abide by its laws. When a couple comes to me as an imam to perform the marriage, I tell them, fine, congratulations, please bring the marriage certificate, and I will be more than happy to perform the marriage. Why am I saying this? Because there is numerous instances in which some Muslims want to bypass, unfortunately again, the marriage certificate by getting married by the Sharia law and not getting the marriage certificate. And the Sharia law, the way I was taught and learned, forbids that. You have to abide by the law of the country of your residence. In terms of the marriage, it includes, you have to have the marriage license, and then you can go to your imam, he will perform the marriage, and you will get married. This is just one example of the understanding of Sharia law versus the law of the land. One has to abide by the law of the land. And the only thing that is problematic when you talk about the Sharia law versus the law of the land is if there is anything in the law of the land that prohibits you to practice Sharia law, then you have a problem as a Muslim. And what does that mean? If the law of the land in which you live tells you you cannot pray, it's illegal to fast, it's illegal for you to perform pilgrimage, it's illegal for you to declare that you are Muslim, then according to the Sharia law, it would be forbidden for a Muslim to live in that country. But thanks, to first and foremost to God, and then rightfully so to our founding fathers who gave us the freedom and liberty of choice to choose what we are going to believe and what God are we going to worship, at least in this country. So when someone asks me which country, and this is something that some Muslims have problems understanding and really accepting even. When they ask me, what country do you think is the closest to Sharia law, I would say the United States.